4 points. Ian Burns also 4. He's hoping, of course, frame difference means he ends up second, and Nasir in last position. So that's the straightforward maths. As I say, O'Sullivan needs 2 frames. Mark Joyce needs to win. It'll be interesting to see how O'Sullivan approaches this. He was incredibly carefree in the last match. There is something on this one, though, if he wants to come back for the next stage. You just never know with Ronnie, of course, but I'm sure everyone is waiting to find out. Mark Joyce has beaten him. It's 3-1 overall to O'Sullivan. Of course, they played at the Crucible. I guess that was their biggest meeting just a couple of months ago now. First day of the World Championship. Tom's back. It's always an experience playing Ronnie, isn't it, Tom? Everyone knows how good he is, but you never quite know what you're going to get from him in terms of his approach.
Yeah, it's going to be a strange match this, because Ronnie knows he needs a draw, so it'll be interesting to see if Ronnie comes out and plays like he did against Sakib Nassar. Because if he does, Mark Joyce is a seasoned professional. He'll take his chances, so if Ronnie plays like that again, I don't fancy Ronnie's chances.
Yeah, Joyce is more than capable, and of course he knows, it's clear in his mind what he needs to do. He needs to win the match. There's no sort of sweating on other scores, that's straightforward. As with most snooker matches he'll play, he just wants to win it. So that's in his mind as the players enter the arena for the last match, the key match of this group.
Just so you know, I know you've played with these on before. I know you've played with these on before, but they've now got aircon units.
Oh, yeah. So I think Ronnie's going to be a little bit later, because I think I just heard him come around the back and nearly walked into the commentary studio, so he's obviously lost his way a little bit.
Well, he's welcome to do a couple of frames, but I think we'd rather watch him play. So hopefully he'll find his way to the table. There's always something with Ronnie, isn't it? Yeah, he's just taking a comfort break, so we'll get underway in due course. Of course, table 2 as well, that group very tight. They had 3 draws, but Andrew Higginson's just beaten Mark Lloyd 3-0. Higginson now playing Michael Holt. So victory there for Higginson would wrap it up, but that's live on Matchroom Live, of course, for you. But this, it's been an interesting day here. Of course, O'Sullivan, he started with that win over Ian Burns, 3-1. Then Sakib Nasir, 3-0. Mark Joyce, he beat Nasir 3-1, drew with Ian Burns 2-2. So just to clarify once again, O'Sullivan needs a draw at worst. Joyce needs to win this group and come back for stage 2. Paul Colley, the referee, just explaining about the aircon.
That's proper aircon now, yeah. It only came in later this afternoon.
Just see it sticking through the curtain.
Give it a try. Yeah, we've got that behind you. If you want it on, I can just flick the switch, it's fine. All right.
Just saying, if you want the fan on, we'll turn it on.
Mark, do you want to call? It is ahead, your choice. Ronnie to break, yeah? Okay.
So here we go, the last match, the key match. O'Sullivan needs a draw, Joyce needs a win.
Good game. First frame, Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
There you go, it's the Mark Williams break-off.
Could that be the only safety shot of this frame that Ronnie makes?
Well, you like to think, you know, you never know with Ronnie, but you'd like to think he's come this far, he'd like to win the group now. And he could win the group, that's the thing. He could win the group just going for everything, he's good enough. But it's a risky strategy. They played in the Pro Series, which is only best of 3. And Ronnie was late, got doctor frame, so he's 1-0 down in a best of 3. And then he made 2 big breaks in about 17 minutes, 1-2-1.
It's a good first pot that is for Mark. Gets him on the board early, and hopefully he can get in and make a decent break and put your stamp on this match earlier on, because Ronnie won't want to be going behind in this match.
So Joyce first in, as I say, he has beaten O'Sullivan. It was at the China Open 2017 in Beijing. He won 5-4. O'Sullivan actually had two big breaks in that match, 132, 137, but Joyce had a century of his own, 106, and anyway, got the job done. High quality match. It's one thing to beat a top player when they're not playing well, but clearly O'Sullivan was playing well that day.
$11. $12.
Yeah, and early on Mark's got a chance here. Whether he can pop this blue and go into the pink and open up a few reds, he's got a good chance. He's got to make sure for the pot that I think he's maybe gone a little bit too far, so he's looking at popping the blue into the corner pocket, and then he's got to really come up for the blue again, because he doesn't really want to be going into him off the black, because it's such a flat pack. He needs to be going through the reds. So he might be playing for the black here, but it's also going into the reds from the black. The four reds are in a flat line, so it's hard to actually get the reds out and manage to land on one.
$18.
He's been fortunate there. It's landed nicely
25.
just to drop it into play for the blue.
$26. $31. $32.
Well, so far this is exactly the start he was looking for, not least to show O'Sullivan how confident he is playing him. Of course, the Crucible was a different story. It was Joyce's first appearance there, thrown into the lion's den. Many have struggled on their debut.
39. $40.
It's not the sort of thing Ronnie wanted to see here, that how composed Mark is and just taking his time. He looks nice and comfortable out there, and in his previous match he got in the balls and he made two good breaks, so he knows that he's capable of clearing up with one visit, and he's playing well enough, so if he can just keep his composure, and he's got a great chance.
$48. $55.
It's a key shot this, because he'll be potting this and most likely nudging a red forward to open up a couple more reds. Oh, it was dead straight. I thought he had a bit of an angle on it. But obviously now he'll just be hopefully just landing on underneath the red. Sorry, underneath the pink. There's a red just underneath there. If he lands into that full ball, then he gives himself a great chance.
$63.
he's just a couple of balls away. Got one red safe on the side cushion, which may just take a bit of the pressure off. He's done well here. This is a great
64.
start. So make sure of this black, and O'Sullivan requires snookers.
Just goes to show that a seasoned professional, that you can't give him that many
71.
chances. It's unfortunate that Nasser, he couldn't capitalise on the chances he was getting. When I said earlier on that it'd be nice to see what O'Sullivan does against Mark Joyce if he was going to give him them chances, and he'd paid for it, and that's what's happening so far.
72.
Makes it very interesting now, doesn't it? We've got a possible 3 frames left. O'Sullivan will need to win 2 of them. Joyce will need to win 2 of them. Obviously only one of those scenarios is going to bear fruit.
79. 80.
He's made 3 half centuries already today. Said earlier he's played well in the frames he's
87.
won.
$88.
Only made 5 centuries all of last season. He struggled a bit at times during the campaign. Nice to make one here on the opening day for him of the season.
$95.
Ah, that's a shame, but he's won the frame.
Mark Joyce 95.
Nonetheless, a good 95 from Mark Joyce. This, remember, is the deciding match of the group. Joyce needs to win, O'Sullivan needs a draw, but it's first blood. Mark Joyce, he leads 1-0.
I was born for this. I was born for this. I was born for this. I was born for this.
Probably should have been a century, but 95 will do just as well, because it's given Mark Joyce
the break.
the lead in very impressive fashion. 1-0 against Ronnie O'Sullivan. Remember, O'Sullivan needs at least a draw. Joyce needs to win its first of 3. So it really is on a knife edge now, this group.
be nice to see how Ronnie comes back from that first frame. Does he still go all out attack, or does he start playing a little bit more safety, knowing that if he leaves Mark chances he will get any clear up? But he's obviously seen a little bit of a plant there, and gives him first blood in this frame.
Eight. Nine.
Well, he's the most successful break
16.
builder in snooker history. 1,107 centuries to his name. Just so good at killing frames off almost before they've begun. But this cue ball is going in.
Ronnie
So that
O'Sullivan,
won't be a
16.
century.
Mark Joyce 4.
It's a misjudgment.
Mark did have a red on there, but he knew that if he was going to go for the red, he couldn't get the white out of the way from going into the black, so decided to try and play a safety shot. Don't really want to be moving the black too much off the spot, because he knows that if he plays a good safety shot there and gets in, the black's on the spot and he's got a good chance of making a good break. Tell you what, he's not too bad at finding these plants, is he? There's another one there, but he's in a bit of trouble. I think he might be taking a long blue here.
Well, it was
Ronnie
closer.
O'Sullivan 1.
Second time round, wasn't it?
Didn't really have much choice on there, the way the white finished. It landed awkward, and knowing where the red was over the middle, he was sort of forced into going for that blue. You wouldn't really want to be going for the blue, but he didn't really have any other option.
So if you're just joining us, Mark Joyce made 95 first frame, looked very assured. Of course, it's keeping in that frame of mind, keeping
8.
that discipline as the winning line starts to approach. It's a little way off yet, but if he were to win this frame, then he's favourite, because he just needs one more to win the group.
Nine.
O'Sullivan's been erratic at times today, but you still got to beat him. That's the thing. As I say, you can play in all sorts of ways and still win. You've got to take the chance when it comes along. This is another one.
$16.
He's looking very
17.
comfortable out there. He's not playing anything too difficult, trying to keep the game as easy as possible. And he's not trying to do too much with the white ball, but he might have to go into the pack a little bit here.
Mark Joyce 17.
Looks like he's covered everything. He held his hand up. Well, it doesn't look like he has. Not quite sure what he was apologising for.
I think because he played such a bad shot on the black, he was expected to go into the pack and leave him like right in the reds, but obviously didn't leave him an easy one. I think that's why the hand went up to apologise.
Still sort of fancy O'Sullivan for those, though, don't you? But anyway, he didn't pot it. Of course, Ronnie O'Sullivan last season, for the first time ever, didn't win a title of any sort, didn't win a ranking event. He got to 5 finals. Been seasons before now he hasn't won a ranking title, but he's won other events. But he still plays some great stuff along the way. But in this match, not really pulling up any trees yet. Joyce has got a sense and opportunity here.
Yeah, I think Mark's one of those players as well. He's not going to force it because he knows that Ronnie's going to be going for a lot. I mean, Ronnie's got away with that one there, but instead of going for something daft, he's doing the right thing, just trying to keep it as safe as he can. And he knows the way Ronnie's playing, he might cause a mistake, but that's a bit of a loose one there from Mark.
One.
This is where we'll see how Ronnie's going to play. Yeah, he's still going to play very attacking. Some people have just played safe on the blue.
It's high risk stuff, but like I say, it's good enough to just knock that in and make it look easy, which it certainly wasn't.
Yeah, there's people at home most likely thinking, well, why would you have played safe on the blue? Why didn't you just get down and knock the brown in? But that brown was a difficult brown, especially with the white tight on the rail. And he knows if he misses it, he most likely loses a frame.
Well, like you say, he set his stall out, he's going to attack, and he's good enough to win this match doing that.
13.
Of course, he doesn't have to win it in his 2 frames.
$14.
It looks like he's just slowed
21.
down a little bit in the balls, says Ronnie. When his previous match, he was
22.
actually getting down, walking around fast, and just getting down and hitting it. Whereas it looks like the concentration levels have gone up a little bit. Now he knows he's playing Mark Joyce and the way Mark can play. So you can just see the concentration a little bit more with Ronnie now.
29.
Yeah, look, he's made the effort to come here today, he didn't have to. And I'm sure
30.
right now he does want to get through, but he doesn't necessarily want to play a type of game he doesn't like. He's going to play the attacking game, and it's looking like it'll bear fruit in this frame. Great brown it was to that middle, because it was do or die.
Yeah, and there's not many players who'll be taking that on, I can tell you.
37.
In the blink of an eye, he's 2 balls away from making it 1 each. Joyce had chances here.
43.
So it
44.
means with a possible 2 frames, well, in fact, not a possible, there are 2 frames left. O'Sullivan needs 1, Joyce needs them both. So if Joyce wins the next one, then we will have a literal decider. But if O'Sullivan wins the next one, he's the winner of the group.
51.
Swift 51.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 51.
To lead by 47 with 35 on. Joyce may play on here.
Yeah. And the frame.
No, he's seen enough. So Ronnie O'Sullivan, in no time at all there, levelled up. 2 frames left to play. He needs 1, Joyce needs 2. back to the Championship League. This group on a 9th edge, 2 frames to be played. O'Sullivan needs 1. Draws enough for him to win the group. Joyce needs them both.
The third
Ronnie
frame.
O'Sullivan just
Ronnie
made
O'Sullivan to break.
a very telling 51 there to level up. He started to play this break off. He played it at the Crucible against Anthony McGill, but he didn't really do him any good. Of course, McGill eventually won. I mean, it was a great match that. He went to a decider. Not sure it made any real difference during the contest, though. But the strange thing is, you know, okay, it's so you don't leave a red from the break off, but then the rest of the frame, he plays some pretty low percentage stuff. And even here, this is left a red on.
Yeah, I don't know why he's playing that break off, to be honest. He's obviously wanting to play attacking, so he might as well just try and get a good break off, split the reds up, get a good white. If he gets a good white, he could be in next shot. Now, the way he's playing that, it's I just don't know what he's doing, why he's playing the safety break and then opening them up next shot. He might as well open them up straight away.
2.
2 for the price of 1 there. Potted the red he intended to. It's cannoned another one. Seen a few flukes today. Joyce had a pretty good chance in that last frame. Didn't come to much. And then it was just sort of stolen
7.
from underneath him. And here it's gone a little awkward. He'll be well aware, fully aware, I'm sure, of the situation. He knows he needs to win, so he's got to win these 2 frames now.
Mark Joyce 7.
And I think we'll be seeing Ronnie going for this one as well. He's got, if he manages to put the white on the bottom rail, he's not leaving a lot for Mark Joyce if he was to miss. Unless he goes that side of the red, of course. But still, very tough red for Mark down the rail. This needs to hit it very well. Sure how that red went in, to be honest, but Mark's got a good chance here. He can actually play the bottom red if he wants to, and
8.
he can screw back and open a few more up. He's just looked at it there and he's chose maybe it might be too much of an angle for him. He might be, that's the red he wants to get onto though. He wants to get onto that red and maybe split him up after the blue maybe on the next shot.
9. Sure. $14. $50.
Could have just been a little bit of tension there from Mark, maybe just got into it a bit too much. Didn't expect the white to come back that far. But he's going to have to make a good pot on the green here to keep the break going.
Mark Joyce 15.
Yeah, it felt like a big shot. He sort of body language before he played it emphasised that. 22 the lead.
One.
Bill Yates mentioned that O'Sullivan is still the youngest ever winner of a ranking event. He was 17 when he won the UK Championship, 1993.
5.
In a few years' time, he could become the oldest winner. Ray Reardon was 50 when he won his last event. O'Sullivan 46 this year. Meantime,
Ronnie O'Sullivan 5.
he's missed that one. So, again, Joyce has to sense a chance. O'Sullivan, okay, made that good 51 in the last frame, but certainly not at his best here by any means. Oh, but he's missed that by a long way. You can see the annoyance.
I think the way you're seeing Mark wiggle his arm in the air at the end, it says to you that he cued straight across that ball. Not happy at all.
1.
Well, the black's out of commission, but there's plenty there for O'Sullivan to punish him. If he wins this frame, remember, Ronnie O'Sullivan has won the group.
6. 7.
Wow, what a let-off that is.
Ronnie
Really
O'Sullivan
is a
7.
reprieve for Joyce.
One. Sorry, Mark.
I think it's one of those scenarios now. If he doesn't get this job done, he'll be very disappointed looking back on it because, as I say, it's not been
6.
vintage O'Sullivan by any means. He's there for the taking, really. He's offering a lot of chances. A lot of chances. This is another one.
7.
Sets it up nicely for everyone watching, though, if Joyce can win this frame, because then it all does come down to the last frame. Winner takes all.
Yeah, Mark's going to pop these remaining reds with the blue, but he still needs one of them reds.
12.
So he's got to be thinking about maybe in a minute which red does he try and get on.
13. 18. 19. 20. Joyce 19.
Well, how fortunate. How fortunate. He's missed the blue, but he's come back to cover the red. That's what you need if you make a mistake like that, to get lucky. So yet another chance. 29 in front. Black's now free, of course. Needs 2 of the 3 reds to lead 2-1. It's got very nervy. It's got a bit fractious, hasn't it? This, so you know, this is 3 balls. It sounds simple, but it's far from it. Yeah, I'm not that surprised. As I say, it's just the air of tension has come on. Got away with a few, but not that one.
Yeah, I seen Mark just before he played that shot. He put like a little mini butt on his cue, and when you do that, it changes the way your cue plays a little bit. Becomes a little bit heavier, a little bit longer. So it's never the easiest. It doesn't feel like you're on cue sometimes. But with Mark being so tall, he knew he just needed it on for that one shot, whereas I think a lot of people would have needed the rest. So I don't know if that come into play in putting the little mini butt onto his cue, because if he didn't need it, then I wouldn't have seen Mark miss that red normally. So maybe the mini butt come into play there.
9.
Yeah, loose one there, but
13.
again, I can't see Ronnie not going for this.
Well, this time he's been fortunate. He covered it.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 13.
Bit of a stretch, wasn't it?
There's always an element of doubt in them shots where you can play to sort of cover it. I don't know if he played to cover that or not on that shot, but a lot of the time you can play that shot knowing that if you do miss it, you are covering it. So I'm not too sure if he played that or not.
Yeah, he may have done. Either way, he's happy to see the cue ball there. Not impossible though. Joyce could pot this. He's had a lot of chances though. If he loses the frame, of course, he can't win the group. He'd be disappointed. Just the number of opportunities he's had.
He's just got to watch Ian off on this one.
So O'Sullivan 16 behind, with his chance to wrap up the group. Meanwhile, Michael Holt has beaten Andrew Higginson 3-0. That really shakes that group up. Fergal O'Brien, Mark Lloyd, the last match. If Fergal wins 3-0, it's going to go down, by my reckoning, to the high breaks. And Fergal's made a century.
Six.
Key is blue to pink on this. It's a big shot.
9. 13.
That's one way to do it, just get the pink off and then just needs one good shot on this blue and I think the frame would be over. If he lands nice on that.
18.
It doesn't look like he's going to miss from here.
Well, Mark Joyce will feel, I'm sure he's had a lot of chances, but the pink and Ronnie O'Sullivan wins the group. In it goes.
24.
Whatever happens in the last frame, he'll be coming back for stage 2 of the Championship League. All he needed was a draw,
Ronnie O'Sullivan,
and he's won his
31
2 frames. As I say, disappointment for that man because he did have chances, but it's Ronnie O'Sullivan who leads, and it's Ronnie O'Sullivan who wins the group. So Ronnie O'Sullivan won frame 3 on the pink, and that means
The final frame.
he's won the group. Whether
Mark
he's
Joyce
aware
to
of that,
back.
I couldn't tell you, but they are the facts. He's going to be coming back in the next stage when, of course, it'll be a field of 32, 8 groups of 4. The disappointment for Joyce is that he's not been outplayed here. It's not been sort of O'Sullivan masterclass by any means. He's had a lot of chances himself, but ultimately the best he can do now is a draw to assure himself of second place. That's got to be his aim now. Hello. So, immediate chance. We will, after this, be going over to table 2, by the way. It's a very tight group there. So we'll explain all about that later, but do stay with us after this frame.
One. Six. Seven.
Yeah, he's just lost the cue ball, just sort of summing up
Mark Joyce, 7.
the last 10 minutes or so for him.
Yeah, I think you can see a little bit by Mark's body language as well there. He's not give up, but he just knows that he can't go through in the group anymore, so
Foul. And a miss.
he
Mark
might just
Joyce,
be a bit more relaxed, or he might be
back, yeah.
just a little bit annoyed, but hopefully he can get his composure back, and then he's still playing for, I think, second place.
I couldn't get behind the line, Ronnie. Do you want to tell me whether? Have you got enough cushion there then?
No, but I don't care. I'm not getting involved. You all right there?
Help you there? Okay.
Well, Paul Collier asking O'Sullivan for some assistance, but O'Sullivan saying he's not getting involved. Just play the shot from where it's been put back.
Foul. And the miss, Mark Joyce 4.
As we come to the end, Tom, how have you enjoyed life in the commentary box? A new departure for you?
Yeah, it's been good. Obviously, first frame today with Joyce and Burns wasn't the most fantastic frame in the world, but I suppose you've got to sit there and deal with the bad frames as well as the good ones. But no, it's been good. It's been very different. When people say all you got to do is sit there and talk about the snooker, it's a lot harder than you think. But no, it's been enjoyable. It's obviously a couple of the frames when they've gone quite quickly and they've been nice and easy. It seems to be the difficult frames when they go on forever. They seem to be the hardest frames to talk about because nobody really wants to watch them, and it's quite hard to comment on them as well. But it's been nice today comment on Ronnie and seeing the different ways he's playing. But no, it's been overall it's been enjoyable. I've really enjoyed it.
Good stuff, and there'll be plenty more other voices as well from the tour coming up. Tomorrow, Michael Holt. We've got Mark Davis as well, Stephen Hallworth, David Grace this week, so listen out for them.
One. Mark Joyce 1.
Could we see Ronnie just hitting an open this at 100 mile an hour?
Foul.
The answer to that was yes.
It was such a blur. He hit the black actually.
Mark Joyce 7.
I think the car, the engine has started, I think, on O'Sullivan's motor here. On his way home already. This is the thing, you know, Ali Carter got a bit of stick yesterday with his break off, but it's done now for O'Sullivan, this group.
Yeah, sure.
He's won the group, and that's it.
Yeah, like I said in previous frames and other matches, we're going to get to see this a lot this week. Well, in the whole tournament, because you're getting people that have already won or already out, so you're going to be getting people that they're not going to try the last few frames, or they might not even try the last match, because you could get somebody who's last and all they want to do is start the car and get home. Like in this match here, Ronnie knows he's won, so he doesn't care if he wins or loses the next frame, he just wants to go. But then on the other hand, you feel a bit sorry for Mark that he's trying because he wants to finish second. So we're going to see this all through the tournament with the group stages.
8. Well,
remember, if Joyce wins the frame, he does finish second. He gets an extra £1,000 compared to third. But 16. I think he will leave tonight feeling it was a great chance missed to actually win this group.
Yeah, 100% is going to be thinking about the chances he had, and you don't really get this many chances against Ronnie, so to play Ronnie and only play him over like 4 frames,
22.
Knowing he's had the chances, but we've got to look at it. It's the first tournament of the season. Everyone's going to be a little bit rusty, so
23.
At least he's had a few good matches, and the frames he's won, he looks like he's been hitting the ball well, and his timing's good. So he's got to be happy with the way he's playing in certain parts of the match.
29. 30. 36. 37.
So this is the ball that will leave O'Sullivan needing a snooker, and you can guarantee he will not be playing for snookers. This is done. It's not the result Joyce wanted, but at least he will finish second in the table. O'Sullivan wins the group.
43.
Ian Burns therefore is third.
44.
Mark Joyce has looked very comfortable in some parts of this match. Just
50.
when you think he's getting into the game and you're thinking he's looking really well, he just misses that odd ball. But overall, he looks like he's queuing all right. Looks like he's set himself up for the next event.
Mark Joyce 50 and a frame.
So 50 exactly.
Cheers,
Mark
Mark.
Joyce does win the last frame, but of course he wanted the win in the match because it's Ronnie O'Sullivan who will be coming back. His many fans will be happy about that in a few weeks' time for stage 2. He only needed a draw, got it wrapped up in the previous frame. So it's job done for Ronnie O'Sullivan. As I say, we'll see him in the next stage. He's drawn 2-2 with Mark Joyce and he tops the group with 7 points. Just to confirm that, so there he is, 7 points, unbeaten today, 2 wins and a draw. Mark Joyce has got second place.